Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, March 31st. I'm Giovanni Betancourt, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Market. Well, there's nothing more fitting on a Friday than a dose of market optimism. And yes, it's true, the Nasdaq 100 officially closed 20% above its December low this week, which means we are technically now in a bull market. So no time to dawdle today. The first quarter draws to a close this week, a period when the Nasdaq 100 awoke from its long bear market slumber. The index, comprised of the 100 biggest stocks in the technology-heavy Nasdaq Composite, has gained 20% since its trough at the end of December, technically marking the entry into a bull market. Usually, big gains in the index suggests an increased appetite for risk and high-growth companies, but investors shouldn't mistake hitting that landmark for a buy signal. For a start, it's mainly the big tech stocks, Apple, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Amazon, and Alphabet that have gained. They all got investors on side by promising to brace for a slowdown and cutting jobs. Now, other stock indices haven't done nearly as well. The Dow, the Dow is still down on the year, for example. Now we have interest rate increases that drove a stake through the heart of stocks in 2022, which haven't finished. The end of may be near if the Federal Reserve chooses to pause after another quarter point hike. So inflation data out next Friday will help color in the picture. Now, beyond the possibility of higher rates, the indictment of former President Donald Trump may also add to a risk off sentiment in the second quarter. Markets shrug it off at first, but that could change at any time. Other risk-friendly assets aren't doing well. Oil prices are down some 7% this year. Gold, typically considered a safe haven, is up 9% in 2023. So it's hard to infer that the Nasdaq 100's advance signals a clear change in sentiment. To be sure, the index might continue rising, recovering from the worst year since 2008 in 2022, but it may not. It's still way too early to presume that all bull market run is a good reason to get back in the game. So that being said, we have the Nasdaq. Okay, we see how the Nasdaq is actually. Let me put that chart in front of you so you can see what I am talking about. All right, so here we have the Nasdaq. Let's make do the measuring tool. Here's the low of December on this line. I'm just gonna grab this one. Oh, come on, don't do that, don't move. And then we're gonna stretch this out. And so yesterday's close, 21.98%. Okay, so that's that. So we are technically speaking in a bull market in the Nasdaq at least. But we need all three of them, actually all four of them, to be in that 20% to really say we are, what the whole market is in a uptrend in a bull market. Now, what can we expect for today's fluctuation? Being Friday, being the last day of the month, being the last day which closes the first quarter of the year, I will assume that since all this turmoil, all this geopolitical and uncertainty not being added to the mix with Donald Trump, ex-President Trump's indictment, that could bring some risk into the market, some sell-off, perhaps. So, will we just basically range today, create a trading range, you know, that we have so far around the 13,100 marker, or will we just rally at the open and just push to that high that the resistance of 13,222, which is, if we do way back, it is the high of August 26. Okay, so will that happen today, or will we just basically do a sell-off and break 13,000? And the next level for us to find some support, it will be this low over here around 12,700. Those are the scenarios. You make the decision. RSI is close to getting to hop into the overbought territory. So keep that in mind. Then we have the S&P 500. 4100 is that mark that level that a lot of traders around the world are focusing on. Will we fluctuate above it? Okay, will we violate it? Will we break it? We see that the market has come close to it and found sellers around here because that's what the resistance is. A bunch of sellers around those numbers that we can identify. Previously, being 4100 again, round psychological number, but we have heard of 4100 all over all over the markets, not just this month, but even last year. Okay, so will that happen today? Will we fluctuate above 4100? We're so close to it. We could say yes. RSI is further away from being from the overbought territory, so that would imply yes, more positivity that yes, our 9 day moving average is on a 45-degree angle, so that tells us is a strong momentum to the upside. You can use other indicators, you can use other things for you to confirm that, but so far I'm thinking that yes, we could probably just go ahead and do fluctuate above that 4100, and then at some point do have the market do a throwback back down to 4100, and then find more support around that area. That could be a better scenario, or otherwise it could also just be let's also just say lingering around this level and stay there flattish throughout the day and close the month around this area. For the RSI is further away than this S&P. So will we come and reach 33,500 today, which is something that I spoke about in my previous videos this week. So that's it's far, yeah, it's about 330 points away, but that could happen in a jiffy. So yeah, that could happen. Then we have crude oil. Crude oil is has close above our previous resistance, which is now support. We have that $75 marker, which the market came to it and is retracing from it. Sellers around that area. So will it just stay in this $1 range? That's yet to be seen. RSI is above 50. It's further away from being overbought. So that could be one scenario for us to keep in mind that crude oil has just it's gonna stay around these levels. Obviously, we want traders, we want make money, but interest, the inflation wise, the higher the crude oil goes, more pressure on inflation, or it helps inflation actually. All right, so that's that. To be trading crude oil for today, being long obviously is was more was favored. Nat Gas, oh wow, Nat Gas has made a nice little pop to the upside. 210 was violated but quickly retraced from it. So will there be another attempt at it? That 9 day moving average is close to it. So that acts as a resistance, a dynamic resistance, obviously. So you make your decision to be long, but we have been in a downtrend. We have created a double bottom so far with today's fluctuation. So that bounce of that low is what we're seeing today. Okay, will will just basically stay in range and just do between and 210. That could be the case. I'm out of Nat Gas for right now. Gold is the one that is looking to stay to really stay above that 1980, which is where I have where I had my resistance, which right now is turning to a support. 2000 is my marker. I am long in gold. RSI is close to getting into the overbought territory, so 2000 is a nice little target to capture a couple of hundred, depends how many lots you trade, obviously. So you catch a nice little bit on that. All right, so we have silver. Silver is also right kissing that resistance of that psychological round number, $24. So with it fluctuate above it. RSI is already in oversold territory, so this will give me an inclination to use the 75 marker within inside the RSI. If the market, if this market is going to continue to run, if we have a running market, if the market has more potential to the upside, you can use that 75 inside the RSI as as an extension of the levels to see how that will be how as far it will go inside the RSI, and you could use that as a point to perhaps come out of your positions as you see it reaching that 75 level. Okay, so long on gold. Then we have copper. Copper really has, look, copper opened up where it closed yesterday and it tanked. It found support before around $4. A lot of buyers down here, which rally the market back up. Markets are now is above the 9-day moving average. Will it range? Will it stay within yesterday's trading body and just do continue doing the same scenario? Most likely. That's what I'm 50-50 that is going to continue to do here. And the other 25% will be that it'll do a breakout or move to the upside, or the other 25% that you just come down again to $4 and make another attempt at breaking that $4 support level. Bitcoin is looking to stay around the 28,000. That's something that I see RSI almost hope closer to getting into the overbought territory. Then we have the euro. The euro, that gap that it was created on yesterday's open has been closed. So will we find participation right around the 108,700 in the market, or 108,500 if it continues to move lower? Let's see what will happen. Pound is also retracing from the 124 reached, and that's basically also being helped by the dollar index, which today has opened with a gap up. It had been close already, but will it stay around at this 102? And let's see, if the dollar index continues to push higher, then we're not going to be seeing gold staying above 1980, nor the silver staying around 24. And copper will most likely also continue to trade lower towards the $24, and crude oil will not be moving higher than 75. It'll probably stay around the 74, perhaps even lower than 74. If the dollar index continues to move higher and comes up to 205, 102.05, 102.5. Sorry, it's Friday. Give me a break. Thank you. So those are my scenario for today. Okay, if the dollar index does continue to turn around and comes back and revisits its own low and goes down to 101.5, then we'll see that rally or the movement to the upside on metals, currencies, crude oil. All right. Well, that's it for me today. Have a fantastic weekend, and also don't forget, if however we finish today is is an indication of how we most likely will open on Monday. I mean, so if we close today on the indices higher, and then Monday we can expect that to be higher also. And if we have a higher uh, day on Monday, then this rally that we are in the Nasdaq, for example, it will continue. Okay, keep that in mind.